Hi guys, I'm gonna try to answer all of the crawling questions. Crawling is one of our most popular topics. And so I'm just gonna start with saying, please don't hesitate to check out our crawling gross motor program. I will link it here, but our gross motor programs are also linked in our bio. We also have a ton of highlights on crawling that give lots of info with me using my little one back when he was learning how to crawl. And so check those out, please. And our developmental milestones blog roundup is linked in our bio, and I will link it here. And we have tons of blog posts with videos in them about crawling. So those are all the resources we have for you, but I will also try to answer the questions. So, in terms of getting them kneeling, that is often a hard thing to do, and we actually have talked about this just recently in our staff meeting. So sometimes, well, kids tend to lock out either because they don't want to or because they have some weakness, which we all have weakness, so it's not a huge deal. But so what they do is they turn on all of their muscles. So they're like, nope, I don't know how to just control a little bit, so I'm gonna do everything. So what I like to do is, if you can, scrunch them up. So like get them, I don't even have a good toy to show you with, but so as much as you can, like get their knees bent, like even if you're holding them. So like you can hold them with their knees bent up against you and get them on the ground. So I've got a little stool here. Get them on the ground, keeping their bottom back on their heels, just like I am. And you almost want to like kind of get them right between your legs so that they're still sitting. Let's see if I can angle this down a little bit more. So they're sitting like me right here. And you have a toy here, something you can use, the little balance box, which is also great. This has been one of our favorite toys, linked in our Amazon store. So is the little balance box. But either one, like a stool or a table, depending on how well they do. So down lower like this is going to be a little bit harder, but it's also going to get them a little bit closer to hands and knees position. Up higher like this might be a little bit easier for them to start and just get used to playing on the knees. And that's what you want at first. Don't even worry about them like coming up and stuff like that. Like that will come like once you get them used to playing in that position. Make it fun. If they only tolerate like 5 seconds, do 5 seconds and then come out of it and play and then put them back in for another 5 seconds. So like meet them where they're at. So we just talked about this yesterday too. Like if they do 1 second, just do that 1 second a lot over the day. The 1 seconds add up, just like the 5 seconds do. And you're gonna work on slowly increasing their tolerance. So like they're doing 5 seconds and they're doing pretty well and they start fighting at 5 seconds, make it 6 seconds and then come out of it and make it fun and then go right back into it. You know your child and what will distract them or engage them or things like that. It could be like blowing raspberries or tickling or peekaboo, any of those things. It's all about like distraction and motivation. So that can also be used. So like, but the same thing, like I really try to use things besides just my hands. So like getting them into that kneeling position. If they aren't shooting their legs out and you don't need to trap them there, which is not the right word, but really stabilize them there. You could just have them playing on hands and knees at various surfaces. Diaper boxes are great. Overturned, I have a laundry basket over there is great. I have this bathtub that it's inflatable. If you flip it upside down, it could work. Anything like that. So getting used to being on the knees. And that is a great first step for working on tolerating hands and knees. If you have stairs, I have a lot of posts, or I've talked a lot also about using crawling upstairs to help encourage crawling. So you could even use that as playing at the knees and then put the toy up and you're just gonna help them. And sometimes that help looks like you doing it all for them. Check out some of my other videos to see kind of how I have facilitated the help, but it's a great way to work on crawling without them realizing that they are crawling. And then The other things are to encourage crawling is, you know, if you get them on the knees, we've talked about this, like if it's this high, like, so almost if you're moving it, kind of letting them move their legs along with you, almost like a crawling walker. You can also do crawling over legs. So, and that doesn't mean that they have to start here, like all the way over here, and the toy is all the way over there. You can start them partway on your legs and have the toy pretty close so that all they have to do is like slither off your legs. What you want to do is you want to give them success. And I say this a lot, but always take the child to the toy, not the toy to the child. So if you have them over here and they're getting really frustrated with over there, you just help them. Even if it's just you sliding them along and they get to the toy. Because what you're doing is you're teaching the concept that they can get to what they want. Let me know if you have more questions about that. Like I said, I have a ton of resources. One of them being our crawling program, self-paced or with virtual check-ins. It's been one of our most popular. Our blogs that are in the Developmental Milestone Roundup, and all of our highlights, which they should all be on the little screen. So let me know what other questions you have. Sorry, I forgot to answer. And with regards from going to crawling back into sitting, so this is also something you can practice with a stool or a bench. So like, if you can get them eventually up on their knees, I call this coming in the diagonal. So you're gonna help guide their hips to the outside of their feet. I'll go to the other side so you can see a little bit better. So they'll be holding on to something. You're gonna help guide their hips over here so they get basically into side sitting. So same with crawling. They're going crawling, or they're on their belly. A lot of times it's pushing up and back, and it kind of goes into that type of position, and then they get their legs however they want. So yeah, just working on, like, if they're having trouble with it, you can just help guide them. You don't need to do it every time, but you know, if you find them getting stuck, or you're spending some time doing purposeful play with them, use those moments of opportunity when they're ready to get into sitting. So like, even if you want to put a toy there that they like, I just kind of did a toy rotation. So my cube that has all the toys higher is in the other room. But anyway, so even if it was like this, you can have that there, and then you help them get into sitting, and it's like, oh look, there's something for me to play with. They're not going to do it perfectly every time, and you might have to do a lot of the work to start, and that's okay. The goal is to gradually decrease the amount of help you have to give them. But remember, have something motivating, and then distract, which then can be used as a distraction. So let me know if you have more questions. Thanks.